My name is Danielle Leverett-Gillespie. I am the founder and president of Arthur Memorial Foundation Incorporated in Jackson, Mississippi. Arthur Memorial Foundation exists to create safe spaces and situations for survivors of domestic violence, particularly survivors in underserved communities. At its core, our true mission is just to restore safety, dignity, and choice, and give autonomy back to survivors. I was inspired to establish Hour Three not out of passion, but more so out of necessity. There was a gap that I noticed in services for survivors of domestic violence in our community, and domestic violence was near and dear to my, or is still near and dear to my heart because I lost my niece and both of her children to domestic violence in 2019. So in that journey, I started to volunteer at local organizations who were already doing the work. But in my volunteering, I noticed that there was a huge gap in the services that were assessed by survivors, in all honesty, in the most affected areas. So I started the organization to fill that gap. That's what inspired me. Honestly, I know a lot of people probably think that it's the grants every year. Honestly, though, it has been the leadership development. Like I mentioned before, I started this program out of necessity because there was a gap that needed to be met. This is not my hard work. I did not know what I was doing when I started Hour Three. I had no idea about leading a nonprofit organization or any organization for that matter. I'd always worked in education. And so I started just by the grace of God. And so getting into the affiliate network and learning so many leadership strategies, being exposed to so many other leaders who are able to share and honestly guide me into becoming a better leader for our organization has been the number one help that the affiliate network has given me. Also, the access to other access to other individuals who are doing this work, having that community camaraderie, people that you can go and actually ask questions to and actually get a response back from. Because a lot of the times you get into these different types of programs and rooms and networks, and they say, any question you can ask, and you ask a question and sometimes you never get a response, or you get a response that's not a straight answer. And something that I have grown to love about the affiliate network is I don't care who I reach out to, I always get a answer that is exactly what I needed to know. Like it's an answer that I can actually go and implement what they gave me. So that those are two things that I absolutely love about being a part of the affiliate network. So last year, we utilized the mini grant to fund our Safe Space initiative. And so what Safe Space was, I guess I have to give the background first. So in Mississippi, shelter clients for domestic violence get 30 days to rebuild. And 30 days, a lot of the time, just is not enough. And so they're taxed at the end of that 30 days with either figuring it out or going back to the abuse that they came from. And so we created this program called Safe Space where they have like a transitional space to be able to leave shelter, get into some housing that is not just a safe shelter over their head, but also a space for them to be able to um, rebuild with supports, wraparound services. And so we utilized the mini grant last year to pay for that space, and it was so helpful because we were able to focus solely on the rebuilding for our clients versus fundraising constantly trying to keep it open. And it was a godsend. We were able to put up a camera at the door. So yeah, it was amazing. And I was really thankful because it took a huge weight off of our shoulders. Because fundraising for small nonprofits can get very, very difficult, especially in the economic climate we live in right now. It's difficult for us being so small that to get revenue that is consistent, because we are community based and most of our funding comes from either community grants or fundraising, which we end up having to do a lot of stuff, and it's usually event based fundraising. So you have to spend money to make money, and so it's not really super sustainable. It carries us through, don't get me wrong, but definitely that part. Also, I would say staffing capacity, because we don't have the funding to have the staff to continue on. So that's been the most difficult part, having staff to be able to help us scale, and we can't get the staff because we don't have the funding because we haven't scaled. So it's kind of like a ever rolling wheel. What makes our Three Memorial Foundation unique is that we pride ourselves on being proactive versus reactive. A lot of domestic violence organizations, while they are survivor informed, they do not, they focus more so on how to help after the abuse has already happened. While we do have some services that help survivors post-abuse, our main goal is to educate our communities and educate our survivors on how to stop the abuse before it even starts, how to prevent it. We really are focused on, especially this year, we're really focused on being a proactive education-based organization, because what we have learned throughout the years is we can provide all the services. We can connect you to housing. We can connect survivors to food, shelter, all those things. But without the education, the next survivor is right behind them. And there's one right behind them. So I think that's what makes us very unique, is that while we do provide reactive services, we also pride ourselves on having proactive services as well. Definitely continue with the leadership coaching. That has been very helpful when it comes to growing our team, for one, but also helping our team be the very best at what we do. Because, your team is only as strong as its leader. So that's been our number one. Also, maybe I did give a little thought to this, introduction to other national funders. Because we know we appreciate the Woodson Center so much, and the Woodson Center has been amazing, but we also know the Woodson Center's capacity with as many affiliates as they have can only go so far, but just maybe introduction to other sources. One thing that I am so appreciative of with the Woodson Center, and I want supporters of the Woodson Center to understand, is when they give to the Woodson Center, it's not just about funding for the affiliates. We don't just need funding. We need the people within the network who are providing us with a strategic partnership as we learn to grow and scale our nonprofits, because we are here to do a service for our communities, and we want to be able to do it to the best of our ability. And the Woodson Center is teaching us that. So beyond the funding, we need what we are getting, and we're hoping that we can continue to be a part of the Woodson Center long after funding.